Waking up at about 8:30 a.m., you're being shooken awake by Eyeless Jack. He goes, hey, wake up. You wake up suddenly and go, what's wrong? You jolt up, feeling the chain around your neck pull you back down. You couldn't rub your face, even though you wanted to. Eyeless Jack had undone your right handcuff and said, you're awake. I'm trying to get you up for at least an hour and a half now. Oh, you say. He responds with, Hoodie would like to speak with you, if you're up to it. I'd love to, if he's not still mad at me, and if Toby's not in an episode. You say, rolling your eyes, smiling. He's not in his episode, he's actually asleep in his room. Eyeless Jack says to you. You smile back at him, and he unlocks the rest of your chains. You get up and leave. Walking down the hall to Hoodie's room. You knock on the door. Masky says enter. You open the door and close it. The LED lights that he had stolen from a shop were on a bright pumpkin orange color, making it look like Halloween was just bright enough in his room. You had smiled at him, and Masky had asked you if you'd like to sit down on the bed. You had said, no, I'll just stand, and stood by the door. An easy exit, you thought to yourself. Hoodie apologized for what he had done, and you had said it's quite alright, it's my fault for what had happened. Him and Masky both smile back at you as then your uncle knocks on the door. Hoodie then says enter, and Cinnamon walks in. You politely slip out without him noticing. A couple hours go by, it's about noontime, and you're pondering on going out and finding Offender or staying at your uncle's, where you were more protected than your father's place. And you certainly weren't wanting to go be found by anyone from Zalgo's team. I don't remember if Offender was the dad or not. God, I have to re-listen to that. Anyway, back to it. You decided you would stay in the house and bake some cheesecake. You saw that the boys were running low and that you just wanted to make some for the fun of it. So as you started doing your thing, making the batter, no one else was home at the time, or so you thought. Just then, the kitchen door opens and you grab a knife, throw it at the door, and then turn back around and continue baking. Hoodie had done made an sound, and you look behind you and your face goes bright red. You apologize for throwing the knife, not realizing that it was them. Oh, my uncle's gonna kill me, you thought to yourself, as you get handed a knife by Masky. He goes, here, you threw this. Smiling and chuckling. Well, I'm assuming Toby's here as well, you say. Hoodie chimes in. Yeah, he's up in his room having an episode. You hear Toby yelling from upstairs. I'm not having an episode, Hoodie. You chuckle at his response. So then you go, well, Toby, if you're not having an episode, come downstairs and help me make pancakes. You decided pancakes would be somewhat of a better solution than making cheesecake, because it would be a little easier. So you start doing your thing. You feel a slight hand grab around your waist. You put the bowl down and push it back towards the coffee maker. You feel another hand grab around your waist. Your instant thought, without really thinking, was one of your tentacles had come up and grabbed the throat of Hoodie. As an instinct. Once you hear the slight choking of the male, and then a knife stabbing your tentacle, you squeal. Anger and pain. You dart back around and see a panting Hoodie and an angry Masky and a tentacle on the floor. Your hands cover your mouth as you run around Hoodie, running up to your room and locking the door, hiding in your closet. Then you come back. Well, then a knock comes upon your door about an hour and a half later. You were crying, but had fallen asleep. You woke up, opened the closet door, asked who's at your door. Your uncle. You had unlocked the door and said, come in. He opens it, closes it. Sweetheart, I'm sorry, Uncle. It was an instinct. It just came. Oh, it's all right, he says. You did what you had to do for protection. You didn't mean it. Masky didn't see it that way. Hoodie did. So, what made you choke Hoodie? I just felt someone grab a hold of my t-shirt. She was lying. You were lying. Excuse me. You knew you were lying. He didn't. Are you telling me the truth? He asked. You say yes, and that you accidentally thought someone was grabbing a hold of you, like what Zalgo had done for protection. Or Stripes. She would grab you by your shirt and pull you away from danger. You hated it. Then, he finds your LED light remote. You had left it on white and forgot, so he changed it to your favorite color. You can pick whatever favorite color. I'm just gonna pick a different teal. Then, power went out, and the lights shut off. The only light coming in was through the curtained window. You were scared of the dark, but would fall asleep so many times in it because your window was open. You hated being alone in the dark. Your uncle had put his hand on your head and was comforting you. Then the lights flicked on and off. I'm not going to flick them on and off because I don't know if one of my servers has epilepsy. So, I'm not doing that. So then they just turned on, stayed on, then turned off. Then back on, and off. Meaning someone was screwing with the electrical plug. You stand up, go over to where the plug is, and wait patiently to see a small hand creep out of the closet, pull it, plug it back in. When it did it again, you grabbed a hold of its hand and it shrieked. Of course, it was Laughing Jack. The creepy black and white clown you've wanted to kill since you joined. He starts screaming. You start laughing. You leave your room to have your uncle deal with the problem. And once you get downstairs, there's a whole stack of pancakes with an apology letter from Masky. And with Hoodie's writing on another one. Masky's note read, "I'm sorry for cutting your tentacle off. I didn't mean to. It was an instinct of protection for a friend. I hope these chocolate chip pancakes make you happy. Sincerely, signed by Masky." And Hoodie was like, "I'm sorry I grabbed a hold of your waist. Please don't let your uncle read this. Signed, Hoodie." You laughed at Hoodie's and kept it in your pocket. You were happy to know the boys were accepting you for who you were and not what you were. You're a Slenderman, after all. You are a Slenderman. About a couple hours passes. It's about 2 in the afternoon. No, it wouldn't be 2 in the afternoon. It'd be 4 in the afternoon. Because an hour past from noon. Yeah. My math is terrible. It's about 4 in the afternoon. You go downstairs and... you go upstairs to go to Masky's room. You knock on the door, no answer. You go to Hoodie's room. You knock on the door, Hoodie says, "Come in." You come in, notice the lights were off, and closes the door. You close the door and sit by it. Then you start hearing Masky say, "Who was it, Hoodie?" "I don't know." "What do you think we should do?" Masky asks. Start making shitty moaning noises. Hearing Hoodie laugh after it. You were shocked that he had said that he would ever say that. But you knew that eventually the two of them would start dating. You knew eventually Hoodie and Masky from friends to lovers. You sat there patiently while they kept making moaning noises. You held back your laughter even though you wanted to laugh so hard. Then Slenderman knocks on the door and asks if his niece is in there. Asks if you were in there. Hoodie and Masky say no, someone opened the door and closed it. And we're making moaning noises to have them come out. Slenderman outside the door is disgusted and says, "If my niece is in there, you better not be screwing her." They say, we're not. We'll make sure we all, sir." And your uncle leaves. You're so shocked the two of them would say that. They wouldn't screw you. You said you called it bullshit. Well, you called it BS. Even if these words were true. Or weren't true. You still thought of them as friends. Even though Toby was an idiot. What a break. About half an hour passes, and things start to get dirty. You hear odd kissing noises coming from the bed, and you stand up. They hear rustling of clothing, and they both look over towards the door. Hoodie and Masky look at each other, then look back at the door. And then you hear a gun get pulled out. You froze in your tracks as you were about to grab the door handle. You didn't know what to do. You didn't know what to say. "Who's there?" Masky said. You were frozen. Couldn't say anything. Couldn't do anything. I think there's just a rat in our clothes. Why would we put our clothing towards the door? True. Who was there? Hoodie said. Your breathing was you were now panting heavily, scared to death. You felt something grab your wrist, and you froze even further. Oops. Your panting got heavier. "Oh," Masky says, letting go of your hand. "It's just you." "Yeah, it's just me. Who did you think it was?" "I don't know. Your uncle's looking for you." "Why are you in our room?" "Well, my room." "I wanted to apologize for earlier. It was my fault. I grabbed a hold of your throat." "Again, you're apologizing for what happened earlier this morning. Or yesterday, I should say. It's fine. No need to worry." "So, what was with the kissing noises?" he said. Hoodie and Masky look at each other and look back at you and just start laughing. "And I'm not meaning the moaning noises before my uncle knocked on the door. I'm meaning after." They stare at each other and look away blushing. Nothing, actually. We were just trying to scare whoever was in our room off," Masky says nervously. You smirk. Not a sex type smirk, more of a they're lying type smirk. You smile, giggle a little, and go, "Really? Your clothing, both your clothes, are all over the floor. You aren't wearing your masks. And you have no cigarette burns on you. So, want to tell me the truth? Or are you going to keep lying and I'm going to have to kill one of you?" "Alright, fine, we were gonna start, but then we heard rustling and I'm going to go up to my room. If you all would like to come, you can." They'll stare at each other and go, "What do you mean?" "No one goes in my room except my uncle. And that's only when I let him in. That's only when I let people in. If you want, you can go in my room with me." The two of them stared at each other. They were both in boxers. "We'll get pants on and then come with you." "Splendid," you say. So you will open the door, close it, and run up to your room. You were slightly blushing when you got into your room, laughing nervously, thinking of everything that was going to happen to you. Everything that would happen to you. Everything that those two males were going to do to you. Knocking upon your door. You said, "Who is it?" "It's me." Again. Silas Jack. You open the door. He asks if you can come in and sit down. You say, "Sure." Open the door for him and close it. Hoodie and Masky just reach the top of the stairs. I hear talking from your room. "What's up? What do you need?" You say to EJ. Silas Jack. I was wondering, wanna go out tonight? Just you and I? Go hunt people down, Slenderman once dead, and eat some organs? You suddenly offer. You were going to have Hoodie and Masky do some things with you. To you. And you didn't want to keep them waiting. You had politely declined. No, sorry, I have plans for the night. But if you like to, we could do it tomorrow. Or whenever I'm free. I was planning on doing something tonight with Hoodie and Masky. He looks at you, strange. He thought, are you liking Hoodie and Masky? Why would a Slenderman like two proxies? And it dawned on him. Oh, I see. Whatever you're thinking isn't it. You're starting to like them, he says. What do you mean? They're my friend. More than they are friends to you. I'll take you up on the offer tomorrow. How about that? No, I'm good. He says, and leaves. Opens your door and closes it. Then you hear loud screaming from outside your door. You jump up off your bed, because you were sitting on the edge, run to the door and open it, finding Eyeless Jack biting Hoodie's neck. You scream a putrid, loud scream. Enough for your uncle to hear it. He comes out of his office and goes, "What is happening?" He sees Eyeless Jack angered. Your niece is now dating proxies. How do you feel about that, Slenderman? Eyeless Jack says. You're stunned by what your friend said. He wasn't lying. Slenderman goes, what is the meaning of this, young lady? I had just said I was planning on doing something else with Hoodie and Masky tonight, and because he asked me to go on like a small date to go eat organs and kill people. I declined, saying I had some better plans for the night. Were you going to do it with them? No. What made you think that? They're my friends. I would never ever date my friends. Hoodie and Masky knew you were lying. This was a bluff to make sure you didn't get your ass kicked, and or them. Slenderman looks at Eyeless Jack and says, if you lie to me again, I will kill you. Yes, sir. And he walks back down the stairs. You apologize to your uncle and take Hoodie and Masky to your room while Masky is holding Hoodie. You bandage up his neck and apologize for what had happened. They forgive you and say that it was alright. It was an eager misunderstanding. You'd locked your bedroom door so no one could disturb you. You'd asked if they wanted to play some video games or something. They had said no and that they should just sleep. You opted for sleeping on the floor. They had said no, we'll sleep on the floor, you get your own bed. You looked at them and asked, are you sure? I mean, how are you going to get your chains off on the floor? Masky said, fair point. And it's only 6 p.m., but I don't feel in the mood to do anything else today. Why don't we just sleep? Alright then, sleep it is. They both said. You lie down in your bed as they chain you to it. You tell them good night as they had grabbed some blankets and pillows out of your closet and lied on the floor. To your right. They said good night. Masky says to you, sitting up looking at you, if you need anything in the middle of the night, let us know. We'll help. You say thank you. Soon, doze off, hearing Masky sing a song to Hoodie. And that is where I'm going to end this video. Thank you all so much for 40 subs. Bye!